Hey, welcome back. My name is Joseph Bojang. This video is part of a series where I go through helping you set up a marketing funnel. Now, in the previous video, or depending on which order you're watching this in, but I showed how to set up a domain and connect that with a landing page. Now, if you've already built your landing page and you're trying to do some really cool things like send emails and redirect to people to a thank you page, this is the video for you. So if you just set up a domain and you're wondering, hey, things aren't working right now, what can I do? So based off the previous video, you can see here on my screen, we were looking at our landing page that you all are setting up right here. But if you've set up a page and it's not working, you can go to this website right here. It's whatsmydns.net. And what you would do is type in the actual domain that you're trying to set up to see if it's actually propagated. And what that means is around the world, is the domain that you set up, is it ready for people to actually start going to it and checking it out? Now you can come here, put in the name, and then what you would want to do is go to where it says NS, which means name server. You could pop that in there and it'll start showing you where it's going to work, where it might not work. So if you're finding some issues there, this could be something that could be very helpful for you. But once again, make sure that you're giving it enough time. It could be anywhere from 1 hour to 72 hours for that to work. So I just wanted to show you that. Let's go ahead and hop right back into this landing page. What we're trying to do at this point is that once we have our landing page working, which is free guide, the next thing that we want them to do is once they fill out our form, we want to add them to our email marketing system. And in this example, I'm going to show you it with convertkit, but you could use ActiveCampaign or whichever one. So what we want to happen, and let me draw this on the screen here so you get an idea. So the process would look like this, is that a person clicks a link and they go to your landing page. So here's our little form. They give you their information. Once they give you their information, we're going to do two things. One is we're going to redirect them to a page like this. I'll just put thanks. This will be a thank you page. And then we also want to put them in our email marketing list. And this is where we can send them follow-ups, or we could just send them more emails about how much we love them and about what we do. So that's really what we're trying to do, is send them to a thank you page and also add them to our email marketing system. Now there's a million ways to set this up. I'm gonna show you a simple way to do it. In the last video, I showed you that we wanted a form on the page and I showed you how to link it. Now in this video, we're gonna take that one step further and actually create everything so that when they set up, we can redirect them to where they want to go. And if you haven't yet, go watch the previous videos, because if you don't, some of these things that I'm gonna go over might not make complete sense to you. So try to go back or go through the playlist, and that'll give you a little bit more help. So we know that we have our landing page. Now what I wanna do is add a form. So in the previous video, we went down here and we added a web form. Now in this time, we don't want to add a web form. We actually want to use a form from our email marketing system. Based on your email marketing system, a lot of them work the same way. We want to grab a form from your email marketing system, grab the embed code and put it into this page. So your page is going to look the way that you want it. You've spent the time, you've gone through, you just took a template. It could be any template that's for free or one that you paid for with GrooveFunnels, or whichever system you're using, and we're gonna add it. So what we're gonna do is add the form back here again. The first thing that I wanna do is just add a placeholder here. So I'm gonna go back to elements, because elements are things that we want to add to a block. Under others, so let's just go all the way to the top here. I've clicked elements. You'll see layouts, text, list, buttons, media, form, e-commerce, devices, and then others. Once you get under others, there's one here that says code embed. Depending on when you watch this video, it might be in a different place, but we're looking for the one that says code embed. We're gonna take that and put it here. And it's gonna do its thing, but we're gonna want to embed code here. So let me actually delete, it looks like I have two of these there. So we just want one, and you can see here it says code embed. Now, what are we gonna embed? What code are we gonna get? We want to go now to our email marketing system and create a form and take the code of that form and embed it here. And that's just as simple as a copy and paste once we create the form, but I'll briefly walk you through creating the form. And then I do want to highlight too, earlier we talked about the different pages. So I know that the page that I'm on now is called trafficchamps.com/free guide. And then we named these two pages. One is a booking page, and that would be for a strategy session or something like that. And then we also have the thank you page. I'm going to use the thank you page in my example because there's not much work I need to do here. But if you haven't, make sure to set this page up in a way that would work. So here I would have my logo and I would have some text here. I'm gonna just change this. Thanks for signing up. What you've requested is on its way to your inbox. So I would do something like that because a lot of the times I don't want people to just sign up for my email list, use a fake email address, and be able to get the download here or be able to book a session here. Generally, I want them to sign up and then have to go check and confirm in their inbox that it's a legitimate email. And if they want, they can unsubscribe at that point. But I really want to keep my email list clean. So I would do something like that. So for this example, I'm going to use this page. And remember earlier when I said we wanted to create the names of our pages first? That's why, because now I know that whenever I set up my form, I'm going to have someone go to my opt-in page, give me their information, and I'm going to redirect them to this page right here that says TY, let's just make this a little bit bigger, TY-free-guide. So that's where we're going to redirect people here. So once again, let's just make sure that we're all on the same page. They come to my opt-in page, which is right here. After they fill out the form, I'm going to add them to my email marketing system. But then I'm also going to put them on the thank you page, which the thank you page is right here. So I want to redirect them here. And it's important that I have that actual page name. Now that I have the page name, it's created. Let's go ahead and hop on over to ConvertKit and then we'll work this out. So once I'm in ConvertKit, this is a form that I already created. Based on your system, creating a form, there's tons of help files. So I just have a simple one that's here that we're going to work with. This one says join the newsletter. And I don't really care how it looks because I really want to show you what we're doing. You can edit it or customize it to your heart's content. But for this example, I really just want to show you how to grab the form. So in this form, I'm just going to, actually, let's add one more field. General styles. On this field, actually, let's move this up. And normally what I would make this would be our first name. Yep, there it is. So we'll make this a first name. We'll make it required. So for someone actually to get on our email list, they'll have to give us their first name and they'll have to give us their email address. And then once they click that, they'll be able to subscribe. So here's the form. But now that I have the form, there's one more thing that I want to do, which is I want people to be redirected to a certain place. So on ConvertKit, it's going to be similar depending on what system you're on. Generally, we can go here to settings and where it says form settings, general, and redirect to an external page. So that means that once a person subscribes to the form, I'm going to redirect them to an external page. So that external page is going to be this thank you page right here. So let's set this up and put in the website. Actually, we'll put the HTTPS. And then the name of the page is TY Free Guide. And now, once someone gives me their first name and email address, it'll redirect them. So I have to do this part in my email marketing system. So I have to set it up first there. And then once I've set it up there, what I would do is I can save, because you gotta make sure you're saving. In ConvertKit, they make it pretty easy. I'm gonna click embed. I can grab the HTML code. I'll just go ahead and grab the HTML code. There's different ways that I can do it, but I'm just gonna grab HTML. I can do JavaScript. I can do many different types. I'm just gonna grab HTML, and then I'll close this. So I'm pretty good now. I go back over to GrooveFunnels. I go back to my opt-in page because I have the form now. Now that I have the form, I go here where it says embed your code. I click in this section. I click the little gear. Once I click the gear, it says edit source code. I'm just going to paste that in. That's exactly what I got from ClickFunnels. You can see now it shows that my form is there. Let's go ahead and close. It looks like it's already saved. I'm going to click publish, make my screen a little bit smaller. And I'm just going to click publish here just to make sure that it's all good to go. And let's get rid of that. I don't like what that's saying. So now that we have this, let's preview this page. And what we're going to see here, just to make sure that you all are with me, is we have this form. So this is my GrooveFunnels page. I'm looking at a preview. What I have here is the form that I created in my email marketing system. Now, for this example, I don't care that it says built by ClickFunnels or ConvertKit. There's a lot of different ways that I can customize that. What I care about is that this form is here. So once someone comes to my landing page, if they click one of these buttons, it will then, as you can see here, it says the links are off. But in the previous video, I showed you how to link buttons to the form. Now that I have my form here, all we have to do now is once someone opts in, it will take them to the thank you page. And all of that is set up for you. It's easy to do. And hopefully that gets you to the next point, to where now that we're ready to start going through and seeing what happens whenever someone gets into your email list, how you're going to send the autoresponder. Because for the most part, we are done here. And I will show you at the end of the video, I'll just kind of show you how it all works. Going to the landing page, clicking the button, putting in your information, and then being redirected. But before I do that, I want to show you what you would do here for the booking page. So right now I have everything set up to work for the actual thank you page. But if you're using this page, the booking page, it would work exactly the same. But what you would do here is, you see how it says code embed? We just went through a code embed with ConvertKit. You would do the same thing here. So if you have a booking system, for instance, a lot of people use Calendly. You could come to whatever search engine you like, type in here Calendly embed form. So if you use Acuity or Book Like a Boss, or You Can Book Me, whichever booking system you use, just type in the name of the booking system plus the words embed form. And what you could do is then you would do something very similar to what we did with adding the email. Is you would come here, it would give you options on how you can do it. It'd show you where you go once you're logged into your account. It would show how to add it to your website. And then once you have that information, you'd come back over here to GrooveFunnels and you'd put in your calendar information here. And all you would have to do is really update on your email marketing system which page they're going to go to. So to kind of make this even more clear, because I'm not using a booking, I'm going to delete this now that I'm done with it. And just to show you that now I have a marketing funnel. It's only 2 pages. It's the opt-in page. Once someone goes to the opt-in page, they then would come down here, put in their information. Once they put in their information, they're going to be redirected here. And now everything's going to happen in the email. And that's where I'm going to really continually push them through my marketing funnel. Okay, so now that we're actually ready to push people through, let me just show you what it looks like after you've saved everything and you're connecting your domain. So we've done all that work. And let me just review really quickly, just in case you find yourself getting stuck somewhere and it's not working. So let's go through what a few things that it could be. So we can always look at our funnel. Our funnel's always going to have some type of landing page. People put in their content and then they can go to the thank you page. So right now, as you saw, we just have these 2 pages here. We have them named. So we have free guide and then we have the thank you page. Once again, in my contact form, settings, general, I do have the page that we're going to redirect to. So this is in my form. So after they put in their name information, this is where they're going to go. Inside of GrooveFunnels, once you click publish, right here, we see that I've already selected. So there's several names. You can do a subdomain. You can have different things. These are just test links that I created. So if you have a WordPress website, you can also use a subdomain, but we're just using a domain. So because I've already added it, I have it here. You should be able just to click this button right here, this blue text link right here. So if I click this, it should open up in another tab. And as you can see, it does. This is the landing page, and look at the URL. The URL is https://trafficchamps.com/free guide. So it's everything that we talked about. Now, what I'm going to go ahead and do is click on, oh, I forgot to hook up this button. I'll show you guys. We'll need to rehook it up, but let me just show you just for this test. So I've entered a test username, a test email. Once I click subscribe, you're going to see, let me just get rid of this. Once I click subscribe, what's going to happen is that it's going to send all of my information to convertkit. So now I have a new email subscriber to build my list, and it's taken me to that link of thank you, free guide. This is the page. As you remember, I updated it. Everything is in your inbox, and now I'm good to go. So now what I would do is drive everyone that I know to this page. This is the page that I would drive all my traffic to. Now let me go ahead and fix this button real quick. I'm gonna just copy this link, or actually all of that is set up. I just need this little bit right here, YT form. So we did set this up in the previous video, but I wanna show you again because we changed the form, so we need to hook it back up. So whenever someone clicks that link, they would come to this section right here. And what I'm gonna do, as you can see, I'm highlighted around this container. So let's close our publish settings, open up our edit menu, and then under custom attributes, if you remember, we just want to put YT form, and let's close this. And then we're going to publish one more time just to make sure that everything, all the work that we've done is being resent back out there. And you can see it's going to take a few moments. And while that's happening, I'm going to do what I did on this button to the initial buttons. Normally what I'll do is I won't have multiple buttons around. So normally I'll just show you what I would normally do. So I would just take this button, and I know that it's set up correctly. So I would click on it. I duplicate it first, click on it, and then drag it to where I want it. So we want it there. And then let me just get rid of this button. So I'm taking what's already working, and then I'm just going to use that everywhere. So I know that I have one more button on this page. You can make as many as you want. So we're going to duplicate this button, and then we're going to take this all the way down and replace this page, or replace this button here. Let me click delete, confirm, and we'll save it. Save everything that's happening, and let's make sure that this section still has, yep. We'll publish it one more time because we did the updates to the button. Now that we have all those things working in the way that I would want them to work, whenever I now go to the page, let's just give it a few more moments. I'll click to open just to see if the buttons have changed. If the buttons have changed, so we can see that my updates haven't gone through yet. But we know that I've duplicated this one right here, but the changes still haven't come through. All right, so now that we've made all the changes that we've wanted to make, we've also pressed publish. Let's go ahead and click this button here. And this is the moment of truth to make sure everything we've done is going to work. So one thing that I like to do when I'm working in GrooveFunnels is if I'm not sure if something is published yet, I'll just look, and I can see that I know that I duplicated this button. And so now that I see that it says button here and button there, I know that all of my changes are published. So if you're unsure, sometimes even just changing the wording or something like that, if you knew what happened before, it's an easy way to see. So if I click button, it takes me directly to the form. Like I would expect, that's always good news as I'm demoing something to actually see it work. But once again, this is why this matters. Buttons are super simple. If someone's on their cell phone and they come to your website, this page is dramatically longer. So you want them to easily be able to tap here and go to the form and sign up. And then if they're in another place on a cell phone, it still won't be this big. You want them to be able to tap and go there. If they go to the bottom, tap and go there. So as you can see, everything is working as we would expect. And as soon as someone enters in, they are now in our marketing funnel. You've created a marketing funnel. Bravo to you. And now this is the process of actually going through, making sure that that first email is we're introducing ourselves and we're letting them know what to expect as they continue to engage with us, what type of content we're going to give. And like we went over, so let me just go to the thank you page, is you want to make sure that you're going to fulfill your promise. So on the thank you page, what we have here is what we're going to do. So if we told them we're going to send them an email, we need to make sure we send it. And depending on your email marketing system, it might take 15 minutes. You might be able to do 5 minutes. You might be able to send it immediately. So if it's going to take a little bit longer, you might go ahead and just put that here. If you know it's going to take longer, it's a great time to have a video on this page so they can learn more about you. And then after 5 to 10 minutes of watching that video, they know that they can now go to check their email and they're going to have a guide or something else from you. So there it is. Your landing pages are built. Your form is embedded. And now let's go over in the next video of this series, how you can actually create an automated campaign to really get people to that next step. I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions, go ahead and drop those in the comments below and I'll make sure to respond. If you like this content, make sure to like and subscribe.